next speaker, Kim Castle, is another person that you might look at her and think that she has an absolutely charmed life and everything in her life is perfect or has always been. Just because she has a very handsome and sexy husband named Vito, who works with her and helps her and who is an incredibly talented ad man and production guy and television guy and business partner, you might think Kim's life has always been perfect, but it hasn't always been perfect. She's not here to tell you her sob story today, per se, but she is here to tell you just a little bit about her life. She was one of our featured speakers last year. Everybody loved her. She's back by popular demand. She spoke last year on Being Human. Kim has told us that she loves educating and inspiring. In fact, she loves it so much, she started Kim TV, and then she's so brilliant that she and Vito came up with this catchy little title. Have you heard much about Kim's TV show? Not yet. Naked Kim. So these people are incredible promoters and marketers, and she's got a membership organization, and she's a good friend. So Kim Castle. Kim, come on up. I wanted to say, the reason I'm making the mistake on Kim Castle, Kim Campbell is also a friend of mine. Kim Campbell is the former Prime Minister of Canada. So it's a good accident.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. And everybody wish Patty a belated birthday wish.
Thank you.
Oh, how do I do this? This?
You should be good.
This? Good. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Happy International Women's Day to us. Yay! I am delighted to be back. Oh, there it goes. I got some. I'm going to stand over here. If I start getting over there, tell me to go like this, okay? So I'd like to start off today by asking you, have you ever wanted something in your life so much, whether it was a job or a career or a marriage or a certain life or recognition, that you would give your life to accomplishing it? Anybody? Any other overachievers in the audience? Type A's? B pluses? Can I get a I'm so tired? I know that feeling because I started very early. I was born with many things, and two stand out the most. One was debilitating asthma. Can you hear me okay? Because it's odd kind of weird. Debilitating asthma, and this penchant for getting my picture taken. I don't know where either of them came from. And one day when I was 4 years old, I was walking through JCPenney's, and there was a guy taking pictures, you know, the fake backdrops and the shag carpet, and I needed to get my picture taken. And my mom said no for some reason, and I did what any overachieving 4-year-old would do. I held my breath until I passed out. And that kind of behavior could come in handy if you're a superhero or a synchronized swimmer. So at 8 years old, I was competing as a synchronized swimmer in my first meet. And I was doing it to Waltz of the Sugar Plum Fairy. You know, dun 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 dun. Everybody knows that, right? So I'm prancing on the deck, split to split. I do my front walkover into the 20-foot Olympic-sized pool. And everything is going along perfectly as I rehearsed, when all of a sudden, I knocked my nose clip off my nose. Now, if you've ever been a synchronized swimmer, you know those are kind of important if you don't want to drown upside down with a smile plastered on your face. And in an 8-year-old panic, I watched my nose clips do a water dance of their own all the way down 20 feet to the bottom of the pool. Without thinking, I dove down to the bottom, got them, slapped them on my face, came up out of the water like Orca, on cue with the music, right where I needed to be with the routine. And the announcer said something like, "That's how the pros do it," and the crowd went wild. The next year, I won a ribbon in the Junior Olympics. And I accomplished something even greater. I cured myself of asthma by holding my breath. for really long periods of time under the water. By 9 years old, how I would live my life was set in stone. I learned that I could accomplish anything if I pushed past my limits. It took me 40 years to realize that I was wrong. Thank God I realized it when I did before it was too late. If you're like me, before you even get out of bed, you already feel like you're behind. Am I right? There's so much going on. There's so much on my plate, and I keep piling more and more and more. Why? Because I can. Then we've got things like Facebook, Twitter, all these things to show us all the things that we missed while we were sleeping. Right? We got to keep up, got to keep up. We have a generation that we are living longer than any other generation, but we're living it through a filter of, it's too much. I can't keep up. I can't handle it all, right? When I was speaking, I would be surprised when I'd meet all these successful, amazing women who had accomplished great things in their lives, whether I was at an event like this or at the gym or at Costco. And what was interesting is they would always have this sense of what they had accomplished, it wasn't worth it. That there was something missing in the experience, and I couldn't understand it. I was always surprised until I could relate. For the past 25 years, I've been working in brand development with big companies like IBM and Disney and Wolfgang Puck, and I've made millions of dollars for companies. I took brands from idea to the Inc. 500 list. I've helped companies go from backs of magazines to retail shelves across North America. I've been on CNN headline news. I had an international magazine column. I won awards. I met vice presidents. And what drove me, I was never happy with what I had accomplished or where I was. And what drove me was this need, like Fred Flintstone. I'd get an idea in my head or goal, and I'd go, yabba dabba do, and I do, and I do, and I do. And there was this need in me to accomplish. Anybody have that? That need to get to that place, to get there. Whatever there was. And it was this sense that I was running and running and running, and I couldn't see that I was out of control, that I was disconnected to what really mattered. And I would meditate, and I would try to connect to this source to support me, and it would feel like my world was collapsing in on me. And I was always late. Anybody relate? Late? Late. All my appointments, even my massages. I would be late to my massage, running down the sidewalk, yelling at people, get out of my way, I'm trying to relax. I didn't think anything was wrong. It didn't even dawn on me. I would run and run and run to get there. Can anybody relate? And then one day, the skies turned gray. And it stayed that way. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't care about anything that I cared about. And that just wasn't me. I was fatigued. I was tired all the time. I was depressed. My brain was mush. I couldn't think in a straight line. I would wake up, I would swell up in the afternoon. Anybody else? I would swell up like I was 5 months pregnant. I'd have to change my clothes. I now understand why muumuus were invented. I'd wake up in the middle of the night filled with anxiety. I'd wake up tired no matter how much I slept. I was cold all the time. I couldn't take loud anything, movies, music, loud voices, loud intentions. My poor family would have to tiptoe and whisper around me. And I married an Italian, Aries. They're not good at that. I was no longer me. And you know what made it worse? My hair started falling out. And I started gaining weight. Yeah, if everything that was going on, that was worse. Why is it that, it doesn't matter what's going on inside, but this has got to be fixed? Right? It's always our vanity that causes us to go into something. And I realized it wasn't until my hair started falling out that I realized I needed help. Not just any help, but somebody that could help me understand what was going on. Who could help the little girl, get that little girl, that strong-willed girl who held her breath and changed her life, out of the way. And so with the help of my BFF, who happens to be a blonde rocket scientist, for real, at least the rocket scientist part, and we found a doctor who could help me see what was going on and understand my hand in it and support me naturally to get well. And I filmed it all for a series called Aging Ungracefully. I tell you, there is nothing like finding out that there is something really wrong with you for the first time in front of the camera. And you know what really is the kicker here? What moved me to say yes to the series, what motivated me to get help, was my hair was falling out. Not that I was crying all the time and I couldn't remember more than 2 things at a time. And I'm here to share with you how not to make the same mistakes as the poster child of what not to do. Sounds good? And I discovered that being a type A personality is not everything it's cracked up to be. That behavior of driving and driving and driving, actually how we live, the quality of our life is 100% to the quality of how we show up in it. I learned that I was trading my life for doing, trying to get there. There's no there. And you know, technology can get us to incredible places, but we've forgotten the most important technology of them all, our human body. And I discovered different things to do to change that so that I could, you know, all the things that we talk about, you know, the behaviors like fibromyalgia. We hear a lot about fibromyalgia. We see a lot of commercials about fibromyalgia, arthritis, Epstein-Barr, depression. All of these are pre-illnesses brought on by how we show up in the world. And I thought I was healthy because I read all the books. I worked out like a crazy person, but I worked out. I was healthy. Thank God that I learned what to do and what not to do, and that I didn't have to get deathly ill to wake up and stop smelling the coffee. I believe I was able to do that to be here with you today. Again, as the poster child, to prevent you from going there, on your way to there. So all of these illnesses like fibromyalgia, they're pre-illnesses. They're brought on by things like unmanaged stress, and as type A personalities, we don't even see it, do we? We don't even realize that we're bringing it on. Also, our culture, there's so much stimulation, we live in stress. And if we're not actively doing something to de-stress, we're in it. Food misuse. You know, we eat for fuel, not to feel good. Feel good is great, but everything we put in affects how we output, everything. Burnout. Burnout, you know, as women, we only have these little teeny adrenal glands that sit right here that causes everything, all our focus, everything, testosterone, they burn out really quickly. Trust me, I know. And then putting everybody else and everything else first. Women, we can't take care of the world around us, which is our role, unless we first take care of ourselves. You know that old oxygen mask? It's real. And I thought I was healthy. Healthy. And yet I would give myself a little treat. I'd have a Diet Coke from time to time, telling myself it was a treat. A treat? Did you know if you leave Diet Coke out in the sun for a period of time, it turns into formaldehyde? What kind of treat is that? All those diseases, all those things that we think of like Parkinson's, MS, dementia, Alzheimer's, arthritis, and cancer, is all brought on by our behavior and what we eat. 100%. And I would drink coffee, caffeine to keep going. I kept going, even with my hair falling out. I would wake up in the morning and work out really like a crazy person, and then I'd work really late in the weekends. I'd drink caffeine and coffee to keep going. I'd eat carbohydrates and sugar to feel good. Always pushing my limits, like I always had, because that's how you get anywhere, right? Wrong. I'd eat gluten, not knowing anything. You know, gluten is actually killing us. We wonder why we have gut issues. Remember, I was swelling up every afternoon. It's my body's reaction to gluten, and whether you have a gluten sensitivity or not, it's affecting us because of the way we grow crops these days. Actually, one doctor said that gluten will be this generation's cigarettes. Crazy. Anybody read the book Grain Brain? Anybody hear about that? A really fascinating book. This is a neurologist who found out the grain's effect on our brain, and we wonder that Alzheimer's is just like you were unlucky. No, it's actually how we eat. And he talks about the effect of grains on our brain and causing neurological issues. And he also showed how our brain actually feeds off of fat and cholesterol. And he talks about how you can actually regenerate brain cells at any age. Fascinating read. I highly recommend it. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not afraid of dying at all. I'm afraid of living miserably and looking old. Honestly, looking old. I tell you, they're going to have to cut me open and count the rings. So I stepped away from my business that I helped create, and I actually lived for the past 10 years to be the poster child of what not to do and to really set a new example of how women show up on the planet. So I started a new show, as Patty shared. I returned to my roots as a comedian and a TV host, and I started Kim TV to share that, to share this new paradigm for women. And it's for professional women, moms who basically are leaving yourself out of the equation of your life. I share anti-aging tips. I share gluten-free and sugar-free recipes. I share tips on how to bring the spa home, how to live your life like you live in a spa. Wouldn't that be great? Why is it like once in a while, every couple of years, we get to go get that sense of awe? I'm sharing tips, all the things that I've done to basically turn my life around. After working with my doctor, we changed, we tested, we changed, we tested. I started losing weight. I'm back to my me that I haven't felt in years. My hair stopped falling out. I'm happy. I'm excited about my life. And I share all these tips that I've discovered along the way on Kim TV. So you can write that down. Kim TV, it's free. It's on YouTube. There's a new video every single week. Right there, up there now, there's recipes for a salted caramel pumpkin cheesecake, gluten and sugar-free. Chocolate mousse made with avocados. There's almond joy truffles, blondies, all healthy. I believe you can eat your cake and feel good too. And I'm really here, all of this is to share my real desire to change the paradigm. Ladies, the doing is killing us. Our power is in our being, and unfortunately, there's not a paradigm. There's nothing in our culture that truly supports us to live from that place. So with humor and tips, I'm going to show us how to laugh at it, to laugh at what's going on, and to show a new way to show up in the world, because it is our role to shift the world by shifting ourselves. Are you with me? Can I ask you a favor? Will you please go there and subscribe? The people at YouTube think that YouTube is only for the kids. Can you show me, can you help me prove that it's wrong? I need you to subscribe and talk to me. It's a community. We're going to have a conversation, okay? It's time to stop running on empty. It's time to stop running on empty. It's time to fill your tank and live agelessly. It's time to live life on full. Trust me, it's so much better. And I hope you'll join me there. Thank you.